privilege to have Bob Hite joining us.
Why you?
Well, because I've been watching him.
I can't believe this right now. I can't believe it.
And Gail Searns way back when they started, 26 years ago.
Well, 30
years ago.
But Gail and I have been anchoring for 25.
25, that's what it was. Well, congratulations, you're done with anchoring.
I'm done with that aspect of my career. Sort of. I'm still going to be working for Channel 8 doing quarterly specials, documentaries, things of that.
Oh, so then you're not really retiring.
You're addicted to it.
Oh, I can't retire. This is my
away.
hobby. You know, cinematography, photojournalism is my hobby. As you may know, I shoot all my own stories and edit them. And in fact, I just bought a new edit system.
What'd you buy?
Final Cut Pro 6.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Bob. So you have this incredible career in the Tampa Bay area, right? You walk down the street and you probably can't go anywhere without people stopping and saying, or either commenting or coming by and saying, hey, wow, that was a great story, or you really brought emotion to it, you brought something to it. You and Gail have been what I would consider a staple in this community. That
I think everybody would consider that.
That people would trust and love you guys. What do you do now? I mean, besides doing a couple quarterly specials, you're going to leave the area a little bit and explore some stuff?
Well, if I wasn't a sailor, I'd have been a cowboy. And we have a little place out there in Colorado, and my wife and I are animal lovers, so we probably will have a larger turn part of it into another rescue center, which Bonnie does. Plus, in fact, we have our production business, Kinship Productions. Bonnie is a partner in the Media Factory here in Tampa, which has half the company is something called PACE, Professional Ongoing Continuing Education or something, and it's primarily for contractors and others who need continuing education to maintain their certifications. Yes. So, and Bonnie writes courses for them. I get to narrate, of course. The courses. And our production business does everything from documentaries to commercials.
That's your passion, though, documentaries, isn't it? I mean, you've always enjoyed those.
Yeah. It'll be nice, instead of having a minute and a half to 2 minutes to tell a story, to have half an hour or an hour, which commercial TV is 22 or 44 minutes.
Do you plan on what's your first thing? Do you have anything scheduled in your mind that you're ready to go and lock horns with and make happen, or you just kind of let it play out?
Well, I have a good idea what my first hour special is going to be about. It's going to have to do with beach erosion here in Florida and an alternative technology that could save the state billions of dollars. If we can get the dredge lobby to not overpower the folks who are trying to push forward this alternative technology, which costs as much to re-nourish a beach once, except it re-nourishes it forever, and you never have to spend any more money on it. I think that's real important.
So then basically you're not retiring, you're continuing to do things and things that you want to do.
I'm getting off the working nights for 30-some-odd years.
Sure.
And
hurricanes and all of those things.
Right. I'll be able to focus on environmental, maritime, and hopefully some more of my military stories without having to stop, put down my camera, put on makeup and a tie every night.
Right.
That's the plan.
You're not supposed to tell people you wear makeup on camera.
Huh?
I said you're not supposed to tell people you wear makeup on
Why
camera.
not?
He always looks like it. That's great now.
Yeah. Well, it's basically all I wear is with this new HD television. They came out with these like spray guns to spray it out. All I've ever used is Max Factor Tan number 2, which is like primer paint. It takes me literally 15 seconds to put it on, and the whole purpose is so you can't see the lights
shine
reflected in your forehead.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally 15 seconds and I'm done.
I'm sure you've been asked this question a lot, but over the last 30 years of your time in Tampa and working with FLA, what has been probably the most memorable thing? And I'm sure you have a response, but what has been something that you're most proud of, or the most shocking, or it's something that you've been a part of in the last 30 years?
Whether it was crazy, good, bad.
On a serious note.
Besides being interviewed by us.
Right. On a serious note, my investigation of the removal of the old Skyway, where the DOT and the Tampa Port Authority were going to leave the main piers of the old Skyway. They were only going to take it down to 32 feet below high water or median water, when in fact that would have meant that they were going to leave 7 or 8 feet of reinforced concrete 40 feet wide, 120 feet long, sticking up from the bottom to tear the bottoms out of any ships that went by. I'm talking either side of the channel. And they did that because they'd gone back to the original construction plans, 1954 or so, and saw that the depth there was 27 feet or so. So if they took it down to 32 feet, that would be well below the mud line. But nobody had gone out there to see if it had gotten any deeper. They, the scouring and the channel deepening from 36 feet to 42 feet. Now they were going to leave. It turns out they're going to leave that much up, and I found it inadvertently. I just happened to glance at my depth sounder as I was going by the pier and saw that. Wait a second. If it's 37 feet here and they're only taking it to 32, that means do the math.
Right.
And so they had to let another $10 million contract.
And you uncovered that.
Well, that's what's so special about it. My Skyway Bridge crack story, Coast Guard batteries on the bottom story, or emulsion stories where we kept them from bringing or emulsion into the bay, that dreadful fuel, which mixes in the water column and which would have rendered our containment technology useless. With this particular story, I literally, little Bobby Hite, stumbled on it. When I went to the DOT, they didn't believe me. When I went to Port Authority, they didn't believe me. We had to go back out, put a tape on a known elevation of that pier that was still above water, and measure it down with my underwater camera. And we got to the 32-foot mark and went down 33, 34, 35, etc. Took it back to them, and they went white. These are the people we pay, multi-million-dollar agencies
to be the experts and to be the ones.
And that's scary because how could they be so incompetent?